this it? The four of you are placed in front.
Yes.
Please, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, come with me, please. Max, 3 people with these ladies and gentlemen.
At the entrance, he's there to greet and count.
Come on, come with me.
He's also there to accompany, place,
Bon appétit, madame.
or refuse.
La Brasserie Georges, good evening. Tonight, no more reservations. How many are you, sir? You'll have to come without a reservation. You'll probably have to wait half an hour at the bar. Goodbye, sir. Bonsoir. For 2? Yes, come with me.
Jackie Galliman, age 55, is manager of France's largest brasserie.
Come on, please. Enjoy your meal. That's nothing. You haven't seen anything yet. No, it's just a little party for now, but it's only 8 o'clock yet.
An average of 1,400 place settings every day. Over 2,000 at weekends.
You'll have to come without a reservation and wait about half an hour.
A 700 square meter hall too small to accommodate everyone.
See you later. Bye. Good evening. 2. Yes, you'll have to wait at the bar for 15 or 20 minutes, and I'll ring when I'm ready. 7 people. I won't get there until at least 22:30.
As the hour passes, the bidding climbs.
Count on a good half-hour wait. 4 people, is that possible or not? In an hour, yeah. How many people? 1 hour? All right, then. 2 in an hour and a quarter.
An hour and 15 minutes?
An hour and a quarter. Yes, no? Good evening. The same. An hour and a quarter of waiting.
Still, few customers get discouraged.
Come on, let's go.
Among those willing to wait more than an hour, young and old who have come to dine with lovers. Families celebrating birthdays, colleagues getting off work.
Happy birthday to you!
Oh, hey, Jackie. How are you, Father? Yes, just fine. Well, that makes 2 of us tonight.
Or even the parish priest next door.
Buy us a drink?
They've come to eat brasserie cuisine. No fuss. But with sauerkraut, of course. Seafood or Lyonnais specialties.
They ask for beef cheek, breast poultry, and duck rosé for 21 with quenelle, please.
Starters, main courses, desserts. More than 2,000 plates in the evening. Concocted by a brigade of 18 cooks.
We're asking for a rare fillet of beef, a leg of pink onion, and a breast poultry, please.
Between 21 and 22 o'clock, they send out 1,000 dishes. 15 a minute. A daily challenge. For 180 years. The brewery was built in 1836, when Georges Offer, an Alsatian brewer, took up the challenge of importing beer and sauerkraut to the banks of the Rhone. He immediately saw things in a big way. He built one of the largest restaurant halls in Europe. Georges had good intuition for business. 10 years later, Perrache Station was built next door. The brasserie became a meeting place for travelers and an essential part of Lyonnais life. The establishment has survived 3 wars, 2 monarchies, 4 republics. Paul Verlaine, Léon Blum, Jean Moulin, Sartre and Edith Piaf came to eat. Bought out several times, it now belongs to a family of Lyonnais restaurateurs. Today, Brasserie Georges is one of France's oldest restaurants, as well as being the largest.
Good morning, gentlemen.
The day begins at 8 o'clock, with the morning delivery sweep.
This is the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 packages. Then 6 kits I saw. Charolais tartare, 30 kilos I saw. Beef tenderloin, 40 kilos I saw. Chicken supreme, 30 pieces. All good. Stick to tomorrow.
150 kilos of meat in all, for today only. Christophe is the house bursar. Every day, he orders and receives hundreds of products.
It's so good. Kiwi, it's good. And a piece of garden mix. It's all good.
His shopping costs 8,000 euros a day.
80 liters of fresh cream went in, 20 liters of heavy cream, 365 eggs, 12 liters of milk. You don't like it anymore, do you? No, I was very shocked at first, these figures, these quantities, but over the years you get used to it and it's what you need to work.
Waiting to be brought into the kitchen, all the products are stored in the brewery's basement. 1,400 square meters of corridors, technical rooms, storage rooms, fish cold rooms, and 50 square meters of refrigeration. There's virtually no frozen food here, just fresh produce, most of it bought from the Lion Hall. Christophe orders them the day before. Depending on the day of the week and the time of year, he calculates the quantities he needs.
One delivery.
Christophe's biggest worry is running out of stock. In 180 years of existence, the Brasserie claims never to have run out of a dish on its menu. That's not going to happen with him at the helm.
All our suppliers are doubled. We have 2 butchers, 2 grocers, 2 fishmongers, 2 fruit and vegetable merchants. When you order 100 kilos, 120 kilos of salmon, we prefer to order it from 2 suppliers, so we can be sure of always being supplied.
Little lady arriving is Miss Brett. Hello, Miss Brett.
How long have you been in the Brasserie, Georges?
32 years.
Mademoiselle Brett, who likes to be called that, was the brewery's secretary. She's 88 and still lives in the building behind the restaurant, where the employees used to live.
How many general managers have you worked with?
Oh, yes, I've had 3.5 CEOs. But it's my house, sir. It's my house. It's my house. I defend it. Because when you've worked like that, you get attached to things.
This brewery, it's an old lady you get attached to, and to take care of. That's Alain's job. The handyman. For 20 years, Alain has been mending and pampering the places. The most mundane repairs take on the air of a technical challenge.
I'm pushing this table because I've got some work to be done on the chandelier. I've got a lamp to change today, so I'll have to take it down. I'll have to make a bit of room as it doesn't look very big here, but when it goes down, it's actually much bigger.
The chandelier weighs several hundred kilos.
The chandeliers are moored, so I have to pick it up.
It has been here since the 20s, like the mechanism that allows you to lower it.
It's been running for 100 years, and it's been running very well. There's the side, well, it's the Brasserie, Georges, but a side that goes well with it.
The chandeliers, like the rest of the room, are masterpieces of Art Deco style. The room was completely remodeled after the First World War. Marble on the wall, red banquette, painted ceiling. It was the Brasserie fashion of the day. It hasn't changed a bit.
Now we just reverse direction.
Here, traditions are respected. First and foremost, the oldest.
Thank you very much. You're welcome. We wish you good health.
Brasserie Georges is first and foremost a real brewery. A place where for 180 years we've been serving home-brewed beer, homemade.
Here we go. Let's go.
Loic the brewer and his apprentice Elliot have their vat in the dining room,
We'd add a little water. We're a bit short.
right next to the bar. In this machine, twice a day, they brew malt and boiling water to make beer, which are then fermented in these tanks upstairs.
I just need a little bit of water. Can I have the jet, please?
We have a choice of ingredients, we have a choice of products. We can make any kind of beer we want, we have total freedom.
The brewery produces 250 liters of beer a day. To sell them, she can count on her brigade of waiters. Among the 95 employees, 40 are sous maître d'hôtel, commis, or chef de rang, like Marie-Céline. 28 years old, she's been working here for 3 years. Before starting her shift, she goes through the check room, shirt, black vest, apron, the traditional Brasserie waiter's outfit. Marie-Céline has a hotel and restaurant degree. Before coming here, she worked in a small establishment in Vieux-Lyon.
Good evening, ladies.
The waiters work from noon to 3, from 9 to 1 in the morning, with a break in the afternoon. And their average age is 40. And in the brigade, Marie-Céline is the only woman. What's difficult in the midst of all these men?
First of all, they're men. And secondly, it's physical. There's a reason we're not many women. For a boy, it's hard. So for a girl, it's even harder.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Hi, chef.
Before service, a short briefing by the chef.
We have a breast poultry with mori sauce, pomme paillasons, and fan carrots, 20 portions. There will also be Paris breast, 24 portions.
Every day, 2 suggestions are made to sell products that are about to expire. The waiters must try to sell them first. For each service, Marie-Céline is responsible for a square, a space of around 10 tables, and 60 place settings.
Good evening, gentlemen. I already have a skewer of gambas Saint-Jacques. Can you pour water, Samir?
Careful, the phone.
Come on, 3 royals.
She works with this big tray, a truck in the jargon. On every trip, she has to follow the brewery's rules of the road.
Hot!
We always leave the kitchen through the same door. We walk to the right. Announce yourself to the other waiters.
Watch your back.
All to avoid accidents as much as possible.
Hot!
Every week, a dozen trays ended up on the floor.
We used to be allowed to bring a little more. Now, for safety reasons, we're only allowed 6 plates per truck.
It's easy.
It's a bit complicated over the duration of a service. You feel it on your back. But hey, at least we're not going to the gym. That's good.
A Saturday evening like this? She once had fun counting them with a pedometer.
Chef, I'll walk you the 10.
Beef, just, and salmon.
In the kitchen, you don't walk as much, but we're active too.
Duc à pointe et filet à pointe.
Gerald is in charge. 57 years old and 20 years in the kitchen at Brasserie Georges.
We'll send a rosé veal liver.
Gerald takes orders and organizes cooking.
Did you make the pan-fried vegetables work?
With the constant concern to keep up the pace.
With the challenge we're facing, it has to go fast. So, it's minute cooking, so veal livers, entrecôtes, things like that cook quite quickly. We'll see a breast poultry with no added salt.
Flavor-wise, it's brasserie gastronomy. Simple, hearty, French. More than 60 recipes on the menu, including 5 different choucroutes. These have been served since the establishment was founded. Other star dishes include charolais meat tartare with condiments, breaded pig's trotter, tartare sauce.
Hello, Philippe. Cornell, 23.
Or pike quenelle with shellfish velouté. Prices range from 18 to 27 euros. For dessert, it's the Norwegian omelette. Almond cookies, candied fruit, ice cream and meringues. 7.70 euros per person. All flambéed, with orange alcohol. The favorite dessert of those who come here for another brasserie tradition. Birthdays. The ritual is immutable. The lights go down. One of the waiters starts playing the barrel organ. And the whole room applauds. It's a tradition that's taking on astonishing proportions. That evening, we counted them. 35 birthdays were celebrated in the Brasserie. How many birthdays a night?
Far too much. But then it's true that it takes up a bit of our time. We need someone to provide the music and lighting. And that's what's disturbing, not the noise.
It's nearly midnight. It's almost the end of Marie-Céline's shift.
If you don't mind, I can quickly ask you to close the table. You're welcome to stay. I've got my closing colleagues to take the roulette wheel. You'll need notes.
The young woman ends her day exhausted. But for this job, she's well paid.
Enjoy your evening, sir. Thank you for your time.
Waiters earn 2,500 euros net per month, excluding tip.
So, how much does the lady make?
In Lyon, the Brasserie pays its waitstaff the most. Before heading home, Marie-Céline takes a look at her score for the evening. 3,485 euros in sales for 102 seats. She hastens to tell her colleagues.
Good night. He's 87. I'm 102.
No. It's an incentive. Between us two. Trying to fight.
Take, say, 100 place settings. We'd better get motivated anyway.
That day, Marie-Céline and her colleagues served a total of 1,800 covers for 65,000 euros in sales. That is, if there's no mistake. The next day, Annabelle the accountant is there to check everything. She collects the cash registers of the 25 waiters deposited in the Brasserie's safe the day before. She checks that the sums correspond to those on their machines.
I'm $4.95 short. We're going to ask the waiter for the money we're missing from this till.
Despite the few euros in the till, the company is doing very well. Last year, sales topped 11 million euros. And 1,300,000 euros in profits.
All is well.
These results, the brewery achieves them by negotiating the best prices. First and foremost on drinks, products on which restaurateurs generally make the highest margins.
So what do you think of the harvest? Wonderful. Well, I'm reassured that prices are going to come down.
Today, Jacques Galleman, the director, is visiting Frédéric Boissonnet, a Côte-du-Rhône winemaker. He visits him once a year to taste his new wines.
But
Now there's acidity.
freshness. It has everything to make a lovely vintage. And it's easier to serve with food because it's been made to accompany friends, but also to accompany dishes.
Here we go.
Jacques will have to do a second tasting in a few months before deciding whether or not to buy this 2017 vintage. Over the last 5 years, Frédéric has taken on an average of between 3,000 and 4,000 bottles a year. It's one of his biggest customers.
Shall we stick to the reds?
Volume brings prices down. On this wine, for example, a 2016 Saint-Joseph, the winemaker sells the bottle to the domain for 15 euros. Jacques buys it from him at around 10 euros and sells it in his brasserie for 40 euros.
Impressive. It's fruity, pleasant, with a nice freshness. There's a nice freshness, and the tannins are present.
Frédéric readily accepts this financial effort. Being present in this establishment is a very good way to advertise.
Since I've been working with Brasserie Georges, I've had a clientele from Lyon who regularly come to the winery and say, "We tasted your wines at Brasserie Georges. Can we buy some from you?" So there you have it. Being in a nice establishment also gives you a showcase.
Even if the showcase can crack from time to time.
Good or bad.
This Saturday, in the middle of service, the fuses keep blowing. No appliances are working in the kitchen. Eric, the assistant chef, tries to isolate the source of the problem.
Something's making the circuit break, but I don't know what it is.
But electricity isn't really his area of expertise.
It's still going strong.
Right? Here's the oven and the printer.
Maxime, have you seen Alain here? Alain Fourie, have you seen him?
He decides to call Alain, the handyman, to find the fault.
Alain, yeah, I saw him go that way. I'll see if he's down there. The power's out again, that's the one. In general, it's tripped. And this one, there, as usual. And I isolated this. This one. Well, I'll get my keys to identify the thing. I'll leave you to it, that's probably it. It went on again.
It's actually the deep fryer. Every time he turns it back on, the fuse blows again. It's been going on for an hour. There are no French fries left in the kitchen. They've been replaced by parsleyed potatoes.
Leg of lamb. Without the fries, it's a bit complicated, but you have to adapt. We offer them other toppings and then it's over. It's a bit tricky.
The fryer was finally repaired 2 hours later.
What?
This Saturday, the restaurant served its usual number of covers. Fryer or no fryer, at the Brasserie. Service continues.